Welcome to Vette Vue. This is Kyle McFarland. In this episode, we will be looking at a 1969 Corvette Coupe with a 390 horsepower big block for 127 cubic inch engine, auction code L36. It was recently up for auction on eBay and was bid up to $35,100, but the reserve price was not met. It was relisted but only reached $980 on the second try. It does have a buy it now price of $87,500. From the description, it states the following. The sales brochure in 1969 claimed that the car had a gauge for everything but your blood pressure, tach, ammeter, oil pressure, sweep second rally clock, fuel gauge, mileage and trip odometer, warning lights for seat belts, headlight position, and door ajar. A two-owner Stingray from 1969. This car retains its factory exterior look and has a numbers-matching drivetrain. It was the beneficiary of a frame-off restoration by the first owner. An all-around great driver, fully functional and good-looking with the removable T-tops. This Corvette is baked in a respray of the original Daytona yellow. 15x8 rally wheels are on all four corners and are wrapped with 225/70 R15 Blackwall BFG radial tires. A nice black rally steering wheel with a trio of satin spokes come together in the center and mount up with the much appreciated N37 tilt telescopic steering column. Under the hood, we see the original for 27 cubic inch numbers matching engine block complete with updated air conditioning. On back is the Muncie M20 for speed manual transmission, and this is also numbers matching. At the rear is a correct AT code 3.08 heavy-duty positive traction rear axle. Very little flaws are seen underneath, with a solid frame, all steel looking great and rust-free. All the fiberglass is also appearing as new. Now, over to George Spankle for his commentary on originality.
Thanks, Kyle. This 69 was restored very nicely, even down to the floor mats. It looks very original, but there are a couple of incorrect or missing items. For example, the passenger side mirror is an add-on. Although they were available, the car did not come from the factory with it. Then there is the missing smog pump. You can tell by the plug and the exhaust manifold shown in this picture. But there is one very big problem with this car. Kyle, have any idea what it is?
No, George, what is it?
Well, here's a clue. Take a look at this picture.
I'm not seeing it, George.
Let's zoom in a bit.
I'm still not seeing it.
How about now, Kyle?
Oh. Okay. Now I got it.
That's right, Kyle. That's a 6500 redline tachometer, which is exclusive to the L71, 435 horsepower Corvettes, and also the very rare L88. Why is this in an L36 car?
I don't know, George. Could this be a restamp?
That's very possible. Or the engine could be the original block as well as the transmission that have been restamped to match. Or this could be a totally different engine from another car. Possibly, during the restoration, somebody just happened to install the very rare L71 tachometer instead of a very common 5600 tachometer. That's very unlikely.
Now let's check the parts rack with Jamie Colavito.
Thank you, Kyle. If this Corvette is a true L36, then all that's needed is the proper tachometer, which is a 5600 red line version, and also the smog pump with associated parts. I've included links in the description below for all the parts which I have shown. By clicking on the links, you can go directly to a reputable Corvette parts distributor. Now, back to you, Kyle.
Thanks, Jamie. George and I will now discuss our thoughts regarding this 1969 Corvette. So George, what are your thoughts on this 69 L36?
Well, Kyle, there are three scenarios with this car. It's either a real L36, which would put the value at about $60,000, or if it were originally an L71 and restored as an L71, it could be a six-figure car. On the other hand, if this is a fake L36, I think the bidding is the top of the mark at $35,000.
That would be a shame. This car really looks great. If it's true, Why do you think the original owner didn't restore the car as an L71?
Kyle, this restoration may have been done 30 or more years ago, when these cars weren't worth as much as they are today. An L71 restoration back then was a lot more money to do than an L36. You know, 30 years ago, a complete L36 induction system could be bought for $500, while an L71 complete tri-power setup would have been about $5,000. It just wasn't worth it back then.
Well, there you have it. Please subscribe to our channel for more analysis of Corvettes for sale. You can also contact us at vettevue@yahoo.com. Special thanks to George Spenkel and Jamie Colavito for their contribution to this video. Once again, this is Kyle McFarland for Vette Vue.